Shalom. First and foremost, and give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rawakakwadash, double honors to all the apostles, great millstone who rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, love, and blessings also to you sincere laborers, you brothers on the highways and byways, giving all diligence to make that call and election sure, and also blessings to the sisters out there that are listening, learning, and believing. I'm that fellow laborer, Kanakala, coming at you once again with another lesson. Most of those lessons edifying. This will be straight to the point. You know, always these updates on these key prophecies. And this will be another end time prophecy. All right. One of the prophecies that was supposed to take place, that is taking place now that we're at the end. And that's that sedition. All right. Especially concerning over here in Babylon the Great, when the Lord say, matter of fact, let's get that real fast. I had 2nd Esdras 15, the main point, but let's get Isaiah 19. This is modern day Egypt. Isaiah 19, this is modern day Egypt. The precept to prove that is Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. Okay. This is Isaiah 19:1 says, the burden of Egypt. So this is the burden onto this place. It says, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. And that swift cloud is a representation of a so-called UFO. Okay, as you read in Psalms, it say, who makes the cloud his chariots. Revelation, I believe, chapter 1, verse 7, where it says, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him. Those clouds is a representation of the so-called alien spacecraft. Okay, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud and shall come into Egypt, because the Lord is coming to visit this place. All right, mainly America. Okay, it says, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. So the Egyptians will be a representation of that ruling empire in today's times. Okay, Egypt was the ruling power in this time. All right, the time it was in power. So today America will be that modern day Egypt. Okay, so I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. So the Lord is going to set these Edomites against themselves, so-called white people against so-called white people. And today they have it left wing against right wing, conservatives and liberals. You know, it says, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, kingdom against kingdom. Because this is a time where the Lord is basically breaking up the brotherhood of Esau, Edom. All right, breaking up the brotherhood of the so-called white man, because now they are divided. And that's how you destroy a nation. You divide them. So that's what's happening. So let's go back to this article. It says, a third of Americans ready to justify violence against government. But this is their beloved America, the patriotic America. Okay, but a third of them are ready to justify violence against the government. It says every third American, the largest number in more than 2 decades. This goes to show you that things are changing, times are changing. And what that is, prophecy. As it said Habakkuk chapter 2. We always bring this out because now we're at the end and the vision is speaking. The vision with these prophecies. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. As it said right here, the largest number than more than 2 decades. So we are in that time of that vision that the prophet saw. And a specific prophecy I'm going to go to is the prophet Ezra. Okay, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So that prophecy of sedition is now speaking. All right, more than 2 decades. It says, believes violence against the government can be justified, especially when a violation of rights is involved, a new poll has found. And that violation of rights is pretty much the government forcing people to receive the jab, man. Okay, according to a Washington Post and the University of Maryland poll, 34% of respondents were prepared to justify violent action, up from 23% in 2015 and only 16% in 2011. The number of those who said violence was never justified dropped significantly to 62% from 76% in 2011. So the Lord is splitting this kingdom right in the middle. Okay, and it's only going to get worse from there. And this is a poll people who pretty much stated their opinion. All right, the real patriots, those real patriotic Edomites, they not in the public protesting, holding signs, and so on and so forth. The people that's really ready to get down, they in the woods somewhere, training, communicating, gathering militias. They off grid because why? They know how corrupt this government is. They off grid. You know, they're not in the public. You know, the people that really know what's going on, that's prepared and ready to go down, man. Okay, so these polls are just, it's levels to these things. These polls are the people that did vote or did give out this data. All right, these are lower level patriotic people, if you will. It says among those prepared to accept violence, and most cited justifications were circumstances in which the U.S. government violates or take away rights or freedoms or oppress people, 22%. An event that the country is no longer a democracy, becomes a dictatorship, or experiences a military coup, 50% said violence would be justified. Okay, why? Because these are the people that are reverting back to their constitutional rights. Okay? It says people reasoning for what they consider acceptable violence against the government varied from what they considered to be overreaching blank restrictions. All right, you see the word here. It says to the disenfranchisement of minority voters to the oppression of Americans. The Washington Post explained that responses to an open-ended question about hypothetical justifications included autocracy, tyranny, and corruption. It says despite an increase in people seemingly condoning violence, more than half of the 1,101 respondents, 51%, said they believe the legal punishments for people who broke into Capitol building in Washington on January 6th last year have not been harsh enough. Just 90% thought that they were too harsh, and 28% said they were fair. So this place is divided all kind of ways. It's commenting on the general state of American democracy. 54% said they were proud of how it works. 46% thought there was nothing to be proud of. The poll was conducted between December 17th and 19th with a margin of error 4 percentage points. The majority of respondents, 33%, identified as independents, while 30% were Democrats and 26% were Republicans. Okay, but this is just once again just a poll of basically 1,100 people. So what about the people that didn't give an opinion? But it goes to show you that it's out there. So we're going to get the prophecy, the end time prophecy concerning this behavior. All right, as it said in Habakkuk, the vision is set for an appointed time. So this is that appointed time. We at the end. Nothing more to be said. Besides these words right here, these words are finna speak. 2 Ezra 15 and 14 says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So woe distress. Because when these people rise up with their violence, their violent behavior, all right, you're going to be in fear for your life, man. Okay, it's going to be a lawless society. It says, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. So this is that justification of violence, uprising. Okay, so anti-prophecy speaking. This is that appointed time. It says, in invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. Now this is Ezra speaking to the terminology of rulers in his time period. All right, so today we call these people presidents, if you will, senators, mayors, governors. Okay, these are the terms they're going underneath today. But the main thing is will be like presidents. They shall not regard their president in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Okay. So let's get that word sedition. It says rebellion, uprising, revolt, concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority, violent strife between factions, civil or religious disorder, riot, rebelliousness against authority. All right. So you get the point. Rebellion, a going apart, a separation. So the Lord is separating the unity of your beloved America, aka Egypt, also known in the scriptures as Babylon the Great. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to, and those checkpoints, quarantines, blocking off cities. Okay. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So these people, all right, are going to be coming into your house because there ain't going to be no food on the shelves. And it's just going to be a dog world out here, man. Okay, so we're going to close off with this last precept I got here. Revelation 18 through the Spirit just hit me. Revelation 18 and what is it? 21. Revelation 18:21 says, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone. Salaki. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence. Listen, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, shall be found no more at all. So this place is going to go out violently, okay? Because it was established violently, so it's going to go out violently. The America was funded on violence, is going to go out violently, okay? So with that, Lord's willing, this is edifying. Till next time, giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.